So much I want for both of us, and we can't have it if I'm sick.
Oh, we're going to have it all, Nicole.
You giving me Dr. Kavanaugh's money-back guarantee on that?
Absolutely. Come on now, this problem's just temporary.
You know, maybe there is something wrong. A month ago, I felt just fine, and now I feel like everything's falling apart.
Well, now, between me and modern medicine, we're going to have you feeling fine in no time.
You?
Mm-hmm.
If my love for you were medicinal, I would be a very healthy woman.
Mm-hmm. Mom, did you read my contract with Gavin yet? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, Jody, that's okay. Come on down.
Yes, you should be used to seeing us like that by now.
Yeah.
What was this about a contract?
Oh, it's an agreement she signed with Gavin Wiley.
Yeah, you said you wanted to read it.
Yes, I was going to. I was starting it, and I got interrupted. Let's see what you're letting yourself in for here.
Oh, I already know that. I'm going to be Gavin's dancing slave.
What does that mean?
Looks like he set up a pretty strenuous working schedule for you.
Practice makes perfect.
He wants the right to make any and all decisions regarding your physical well-being as it pertains to your dancing.
Gavin doesn't think I can take care of myself.
I don't quite see the point of a contract.
Well, I do. Gavin is giving me free lessons, and he's also letting me use the studio for nothing.
I'm still not so sure you should have signed this. It's probably not legal anyway.
Well, that's true. It sounds like something like this could be voided if you wanted it to be.
But I don't want to. Oh, why should I? It's more to my benefit than it is his.
Well, because it gives him quite a lot of control over your life, Jody.
Well, it's worth it. Gavin really believes I have what it takes to be a good dancer. And he's willing to spend all his free time with me.
Oh, that sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, if you really believe in the guy, Jody, I guess that's more important than a piece of paper.
Well, you two have both met him. What do you think?
He seems like a very intense sort of young man to me.
Well, that's the word for Gavin, all right. But you should see him at the studio. He's really different. Hey, why don't you come down there one time?
Sounds like fun.
How about tomorrow? You could see Gavin in his own environment, and then you'd know I made the right decision.
Well, as much as I'd like to, you're going to have to give me a rain check on that, okay, sis?
Well, why don't you come during your lunch hour? You don't have to stay very long.
Well, because Monticello General doesn't like to let its patients out for lunch.
What?
As it happens, I am going to be in the hospital tomorrow. The MD and the family insist that I go in the hospital, get a complete workup to confirm my diagnosis.
It's the only way we're going to be able to pinpoint the problem, Nicole.
Well, you're always on the go, Nicole. It's no wonder you're a little run down.
Actually, 3 days rest might be all the cure she needs.
3 days? I want to be out of that hospital in 24 hours.
No.
And would you stop looking so depressed? I'm fine. I'll be seeing you dance in no time.
Can I come visit you at the hospital?
Well, I don't know how with your schedule.
That's right. Gavin might not let you. I'll have to check that contract again.
Would you stop worrying about that? I'll be there. Well, I better get to the Unicorn before I don't have a job.
Okay, I'll see you.
Listen, you're not going to the studio tonight, are you?
Oh, no. I'm taking it easy. My husband thinks I should have the night off.
I can drive you over there if you want.
Oh, no, the bus is fine.
Hey, wait a minute.
Oh, I don't think I'll need it.
You know, the only thing about all this that is really worrying me, it's finding a substitute newscaster.
Well, don't you have a replacement on call? What about that guy that does the news on the weekends?
Harrison. Harrison is subbing for me tonight, but tomorrow he's off to Europe on a vacation. We can't ask him to stay. And the third in line has the flu. We're really strapped for personnel.
Well, I don't think you have to worry. Your job's safe. No matter how long they look, they'll never find anyone like you.
Well, I know who I'd really like to ask. Problem is having to persuade her.
I'll be home at the usual time, which means I probably won't see you till breakfast, so have a good evening, okay?
You're leaving for work already?
Yeah, I want to get to the club early so I could work with my puppets. There's a couple new bits I want to put in the new act.
I guess it's wise to keep the material fresh and timely.
Yeah.
Oh, Kelly, before you go, have you got a minute?
It's my turn to take out the trash, right?
No. But if I remember correctly, you were the last one to have the letter that your parents wrote.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I really only had a chance to glance at it, so could you get it for me? I'd like to finish reading it tonight.
Nancy, I really wish you'd told me that you wanted me to save it.
Why, is there a problem?
Well, when I took it up to my room that night, I looked it over, and then I tore it up.
Kelly, you had no right to do that. That was addressed to us.
Oh, I'm really sorry, Mike. It didn't occur to me that it's your private property.
Well, I'm sure that wasn't your intention.
Well, what's done is done.
Well, again, I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. Listen, I will write your folks and fill them in on everything that's happening here, and if they want to know any more than I tell them, I'm sure I'll hear from them.
Well, I'm sorry again if it inconvenienced you. I better get to the club now. Have a good night.
Good night, Kelly.
Yeah. Good night. I don't know, honey. Sometimes that young man baffles me.
Well, it's not difficult to figure out his motivation in destroying that letter.
Yeah, because it contains information that's very unpleasant to him, and to us, for that matter.
I guess he figured if he got rid of the letter, it would help him forget the events it related. Make us forget as well.
Yeah. He must feel as if he's walking around with the world on his shoulders.
Well, he's young. He should be able to get over it.
But it's so sad that he has to walk under such a dark cloud. If only his name could be cleared.
What do you think it would take to do that?
Well, all that young lady has to do is say that he wasn't the one who attacked her.
I wonder if that would be enough.
Well, what else could there be?
Judging from Lee's letter and Kelly's reticence to tell us what happened, I have the feeling that there's more to that story than he's telling us.
Honey, what do you mean?
I get the distinct impression that Kelly is holding something back. I'll get that.
Okay, I'll be upstairs
Okay.
if you need me.
Cliff, come in.
Hi, Mike. Sorry to barge in unannounced. I tried to call you on 3 payphones, but none of them worked.
Oh, your luck's still holding, I see.
Bet it is. I stopped by the docket section on my way out of the courthouse, found a bit of information you might be interested in.
Oh, what is this?
Judge Lewis has set a date for Logan's custody hearing.
So, the trial's going to start sooner than we expected.
10 days. In 10 days, we'll be in Judge Lewis's chambers trying to wrest Jamie from the forces of evil, namely Raven Swift.
Well, I'll be sure to tell Canada to clear my calendar for that week.
It started out as an uphill battle. Now it's going to be like climbing Mount Everest.
If we make the most of the facts, we'll have a reasonable chance.
Wish I could be as optimistic as you are, Mike.
Well, I didn't say it was going to be easy.
It's going to be harder than ever. She got a glowing report from that social worker friend of mine, and now everybody feels sorry for her because of her mother's death.
No judge, even Aaron Lewis, is going to base his decision solely on sympathy.
Yeah, but there is a human being underneath those black robes. How's he going to take a baby away from a woman who just lost her mother?
Well, I suppose it might be a subconscious factor in his ruling.
It won't be very subconscious, not with Raven's Oscar-winning performance. She's going to have a black dress on. She'll have tears in her eyes. She's going to play this one to the hilt. You can bet on it.
Well, I don't doubt that, Cliff. We'll just have to make her stick to the relevant issue. Her fitness as a mother, not her grief as a daughter.
Mike, how would you feel about asking for another postponement?
What for?
Well, 2 good reasons. First of all, we allow more time to pass between the death of Raven's mother and the trial. And second of all, we get another social worker to issue an objective opinion, to counteract Benita Thomas.
But I don't think we could get another postponement, Cliff. Besides, Logan wouldn't want it.
I know he wouldn't want it. Even if it was for his own good. He already told me that.
Did you say 10 days?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. That might conflict with the date of the conference.
Oh, what conference?
The governor's conference on crime. Since I'm past chairman of the State Crime Commission, he's asked me to be pro tem chairman of this meeting.
Wow. The governor himself? Hey, that's very impressive, Mike. Wait a minute. You wouldn't leave me in that courtroom alone, would you?
Well, I hadn't planned to take an active role anyway. Besides, you wanted this case to be yours from start to finish.
Yeah, but I didn't think it'd be this difficult, especially after this trick that Raven just pulled.
Cliff, you can hardly call her mother's death a trick. It's a tragic accident.
Yeah, there are a lot of people who wouldn't agree with you on that one. Hey, wait a minute. That could be an interesting angle.
What could?
Well, I was down at police headquarters, and I heard a rumor that some of the cops may suspect foul play.
Are you saying it might not have been an accident?
Apparently, Raven and her mother were about as friendly as Cain and Abel.
Cliff, hold it right there.
Yeah, don't tell me to hold it. I'm just getting started.
Then don't start if you're heading in the direction I think you're heading.
But don't you see? That's great. Yes, you see, that would discount the whole sympathy angle. If Judge Lewis knew that Raven and her
Cliff,
mother were
we're
at
not
odds...
going to build a case based on innuendo.
What innuendo? Deborah Saxon herself isn't investigating this fact.
Cliff, we're not making that accusation in court.
Now I'm beginning to find this situation totally unacceptable.
I'm sorry, Elliott, but there's nothing you can do about it.
I'm not buying any of that it's a woman's prerogative things tonight. Why can't you meet me here?
Because I have things to do, and one of them does not consist of sitting here on the phone explaining my life to you.
Well, then I'll meet you at your apartment.
Look, Elliott, I have to pass.
Raven, we've had 10 minutes together in the last few weeks.
A lot is happening.
This is hardly a healthy way for our relationship to blossom and grow, you know? I miss you, Raven. Damn it. I want to see you.
I miss you too, baby, but believe me, what I'm doing now takes prerogative over everything else.
We seem to have a different set of priorities.
Look, I have to go. I'll talk to you later.
Well, look who's here.
Good evening, gentlemen.
It was. What are you doing using a police phone?
Making a call.
You can't come in here and just do whatever you like.
You're, not at home now, Rick.
I didn't do anything wrong.
So who died and made you queen?
This police department is part of the municipal government, is it not?
Well, isn't that funny? I didn't remember a civics lecture being on the evening schedule.
As a taxpayer, I don't need permission to use a phone that I help pay for, and I also help pay for you civil servants' salaries, so I'd appreciate a little respect.
Raven, what do you want?
I want to talk to you, both of you, about something that just might cost you your job. I wanted to speak to you alone, Deborah, but you two must be working as a team.
Sometimes.
So you're obviously working as a team on this disgraceful investigation.
Raven, what are you talking about?
Perhaps investigation isn't the right word. I think the right word is vendetta.
Look, if you'll excuse me, I've got reports to type.
Go ahead. But you might as well type up your resignation along with it, because that's what's going to happen if you continue this.
Raven, what is your problem?
You know very well what my problem is. You are doing everything you can to show that I was responsible for my mother's death.
Oh, now hold it. Somewhere along the line, lady, you got your signals all crossed.
Look, if you're talking about a routine investigation of your mother's
You
accident...
called my mother's lawyer in London and asked about the contents of her will.
No, that's no secret.
Why do you care who she gave her money to?
It's a routine question we ask in cases where a cause of death can't be confirmed.
You see, sometimes people get impatient waiting for their inheritance.
Well, if that's what you want to know, I'll make your job easy. I don't get a cent.
Oh, is that a fact?
Yes, that's a fact.
Has the will been read yet?
No, it hasn't been read, but it will be to Ansel, and you'll see I know what I'm talking about.
Now, what reason would your mother have for cutting you completely out of her will?
My mother and I did not get along. My mother announced publicly that I would continue to get my allowance that Father left me, but my name was not mentioned when it came to her bequest.
Very interesting.
Yeah, thank you for the information. If we come across any more information regarding your mother's death, we'll be sure to keep in touch.
You won't come across any more information concerning me. But believe me, this is my last warning, and I am not kidding. If you continue to stick your noses where they don't belong, I will sue this whole police department, and you might end up civilians again.
Good night, Mrs. Swift. Have a safe trip home, and do drive carefully.
I'm not making an idle threat.
Whatever you say, Raven.
Better watch it, Deborah. You know, you have a lot to lose. If you get kicked off the police force, you might have to start acting like a woman again.
It's a my billy club right down that lady's throat. Femininely, of course.
Just take it easy.
It's women like her that give women a bad name.
Look, she was just trying to get your goat. Now, if you get all steamed up, that'll mean her mission was accomplished.
Right. You know, the circumstances surrounding her mother's death are still very suspicious. She's probably making all this noise just to throw us off the track.
Now, you sound like you could turn this investigation into some kind of vendetta.
I would like nothing better than to see Raven get hers.
Look, let's not get carried away, Red. Don't forget, Raven isn't the only one who doesn't like what's going on. The chief isn't too fond of it either.
Come in. Ah, Jody. Nice to see your sunny face.
Charlie said you wanted to see me.
Oh, yes, I do. Come in.
I hope this won't take too long, Mr. Dorn. It's pretty busy out there.
Well, I've got good news for you.
Oh, no, thank you. No drink.
You'll be less busy from now on until closing time.
Oh?
Yes. I've decided that the kitchen staff isn't on demand after all. So you can forget about this kitchen chores and go back to waiting on tables.
Well, that's kind of you. If I washed one more thing, I'd qualify for dishpan hands.
We wouldn't want those lovely hands to look like prunes now, would we?
How come you decided to issue the reprieve? Am I getting time off for good behavior?
What do you mean?
You know, we both know why I was sent in that kitchen to wash those dishes.
Yes, because two helpers called in sick.
No, that's not the reason. I was being punished, wasn't I?
Punished for what?
For not having dinner with you.
I was a bit disappointed when you rushed off so early.
Well, I'm sorry, but I have an explanation.
I'd be interested to hear it.
Well, I was going to have dinner with you, but then a girlfriend of mine called and reminded me that I had made plans with her over 2 weeks ago. I didn't think it was fair to break that engagement.
I'm not used to being stood up, Jody. Nor do I care for it.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings.
All right. It's forgotten. Although I still think that people who work together closely should get to know each other better. I'll consider this scheduling mix-up of yours filed and forgotten.
Well, that's nice of you.
On one condition.
What's that?
That you promise not to disappoint me again by refusing to have dinner with me at the very near future.
Well, I'm busy most nights.
I don't think you should refuse my offer so lightly. Who knows, your next boss might not be so kind as I am. And that is, if you get a job. The job market is very tight, you know.
I think I can find the time.
Wonderful. Only I think I'd like to change the location of our next dinner.
Why? What's wrong with here?
Well, this place serves too much as a reminder of our employer-employee relationships. I'd like to get to know Jody Travis, the woman.
You're the boss.
Now, that's exactly the kind of attitude I don't want. I want you to look on me as a friend. So what do you say? We'll pencil in our next dinner date for your next night off?
Oh, I don't think I can.
Why? Do you have another girlfriend?
No, I was, going to go down to the studio that night and do some dancing.
Well, no problem. I'll take you out to a place where we can both dine and dance, and afterwards we can trip the light fantastic to your heart's content.
That's nice of you, but no offense, it's not the same.
Jody, I'd think twice before refusing my invitation. I don't think I could be as understanding if you disappointed me twice.
My next night off, I'll have dinner with you.
I'm looking forward.
I guess I better go put my uniform on now.
Jody, I feel good vibrations between us.
Really?
Yes. I think we could be much more than employer-employee. Don't you?
Hey, Jody, when's the boss gonna let you out of the kitchen?
Oh, I just did.
Jody. Hey, Jody, what happened in there?
Oh, nothing. I'm fine. The man makes me sick.
Did Mr. Big make another pass at you?
Who, Mr. Dorn? Kelly, how could you think such a thought?
Because he drools every time you walk by.
No, we were just talking.
Listen, if that guy hassles you one more time, I want you to tell me about it.
Oh, Kelly, just forget the whole thing, okay?
Didn't your mother teach you to knock before you entered? Well, what do you want, Kelly?
Leave Jody Travis alone.